And just as the asteroid Bennu locks perfectly into its September 11th trajectory, a hidden biblical code emerges that changes absolutely everything we thought we knew about the fate of humanity. But to figure out how we arrived at this terrifyingly specific date, we actually have to rewind and look up at the sky. We're going to dive into this study to uncover how the exact peak time of an upcoming blood moon aligns mathematically with Strong's Concordance 412, opening a cosmic mystery that most of the world is completely ignoring.
On August 12th, a solar diamond ring eclipse darkened our sun, wrapping up the first half of a cosmic prophecy, which leaves us asking, what massive, shocking event is locked in for August 27th? The moon is literally scheduled to turn into a glowing coppery red disk, triggering a silent countdown to a world-altering revelation. But where exactly is this ticking celestial clock leading us? Well, this study, analyzing findings from the channel Hourly Watch, and hey, a link is below in the description box, tracks this exact escalating sky anomaly. But why does the highly specific peak universal time of 412 hold the absolute key to unlocking this ancient code? We're looking at a pattern so mathematically precise it defies modern astronomy, yet it violently shifts our timeline abruptly into September before we even realize what's happening.
The timeline rapidly accelerates from that August 12th solar eclipse straight to the August 27th lunar event. But how does this 412 UTC peak connect to an entirely unexpected historical birth date? You can clearly see the progression pushing towards September 9th and then straight into the Feast of Trumpets on September 11th, spelling out a chronological sequence pointing to unspeakable joy, yet wrapped in a profound prophetic warning.
It turns out that 412 UTC peak directly mirrors Strong's 412, translating to El God, and describing this exact unspeakable joy. But wait until you see the microscopic detail pointing directly to 9/11. Actually, scratch that. A massive White House departure was already brewing in the starry background. But we'll get to that incredible escape route in just a minute. For now, how do we lock this 412 connection into the 14th day of the Hebrew month of Elul?
We are definitely going to get to that terrifying Bennu anomaly and the 9/11 connection shortly, because the Torah calendar perfectly places this eclipse on the exact same date as a former president's blood moon birth date of June 14th. But what massive secret has been hiding completely dormant right next to this moon in the constellation of Aquarius?
Landing precisely on the 6th month and 14th day of the Hebrew calendar, this blood moon drops an unprecedented alignment right inside the water bear. But what do these specific ancient asteroid names spell out right under our noses? It's not just a random cluster of space rocks out there. It's a meticulously designed astronomical signpost pointing to something huge.
Zooming into the astronomical software, Aquarius holds a dense cluster of asteroids perfectly framing the eclipse. But how do their ancient Latin and Greek names literally spell out a miraculous heavenly birth? These rocks form a perfect circle around the moon, bridging the gap between deep space and a text written thousands of years ago, setting up a cosmic marker that is impossible to ignore. Get this, the asteroids Diana, Marietta, Josephina, and Astraa tightly surround the blood moon, which translates to a heavenly Mary, Joseph, and the shining star. But what biblical outpouring does this literal Holy Family marker actually trigger? The heavens are loudly declaring a message right now, preparing us for a massive prophecy straight out of the book of Acts. Acts chapter 2 clearly describes God pouring out his Spirit while the sun darkens and the moon turns to blood. But what hidden message is lying in wait at the very bottom of this exact constellation? The prophecy speaks of wonders in the heavens, pointing to a mysterious traveler peering through the cosmic machinery, which serves as the ultimate key to unlocking an absolutely stunning modern connection. Down at the bottom of the prophetic map sits the asteroid Flame Mario, honoring a French astronomer who depicted a traveler peering through the starry firmament to see Ezekiel's wheels. But what does the nearby asteroid Lust reveal when placed under a microscopic lens? This intricate ancient engraving of a man breaking through the sky's edge suddenly connects to a modern political departure, violently colliding the ancient with the contemporary right before our eyes. Positioned exactly in the microscope constellation, the asteroid Lust perfectly mirrors 2 Peter 1:4 about escaping the corruption that is in the world through lust. But how on earth does this scriptural promise uniquely tie into an asteroid named White House and a 28-year-old press secretary? The astronomical data is literally intersecting with our modern geopolitical reality in real time. Little did anyone know, a White House press secretary named Leavitt, leaving her post at age 28 during the 27th and 28th eclipse, was already written in the heavens. But where does this cosmic blueprint of a resignation actually lead us? The name Leave It is hovering right there in the data as a physical departure, acting as a breadcrumb trail straight to an ancient desert discovery.
Right next to the asteroid White House is Veritas, meaning truth, pointing directly to an asteroid named Qumran. But what dark discovery from the Judean desert is inexplicably linked to this exact stone? Well, the exact date of this asteroid's discovery is absolutely crucial to our impending chronological timeline, a timeline that's about to drop a massive bombshell on September 11th, which we are just seconds away from unpacking.
The Qumran caves birthed the Dead Sea Scrolls right as Israel miraculously became a nation in 1947, beautifully echoing the regathering of the fig tree generation. But why was the asteroid Qumran discovered on the eerily specific date of September 9, 1991? This exact date locks the final puzzle piece into place, opening a terrifying chronological sequence that could literally dictate the fate of humanity.
That discovery date of 1991 mathematically embeds a 9/11 sequence directly into the Qumran asteroid's history, permanently stamping the numbers 9 and 11 onto the astronomical records. But how do the surrounding asteroids prepare the way for this apocalyptic September climax? The heavens are broadcasting a loud warning of an incoming threshold, and the sequence of names surrounding the blood moon tells the rest of this terrifying story. These additional prophetic asteroids, Baptistina, Peter, Rema, Sarah Hill, and Livet, spell out a precise story of grace, the spoken word, and a physical departure. But what is the final, ultimate celestial body rushing toward the Feast of Trumpets? We literally have a roadmap of the baptizer preparing the way, echoing through space, and leading directly into the path of one massive approaching rock.
Bennu is mathematically locked to perfectly align with Venus and the wheat constellation Spica on September 11th. But what terrifying translation of Bennu's name completely upends the calendar and changes absolutely everything we thought we knew? Just as we think we fully understand this Feast of Trumpets alignment, this final piece of data transforms a fascinating astronomical coincidence into a blaring celestial siren. Discovered exactly on September 11, 1999, the asteroid Bennu lands precisely on the Feast of Trumpets, making the convergence of 9/11 and this biblical feast day mathematically undeniable. But will its ancient meaning signal the exact moment humanity leaves it all behind? The ancient Egyptians had a very specific definition for this giant rock's name, and it holds the absolute key to the entire timeline.
Translating to the ascending one, or a bird taking flight, Bennu signifies a sudden, rapid ascent into the sky. But as it symbolizes leaving the Earth behind, will this event strike like a thief in the night while humanity is utterly distracted? Bennu signifies we fly soon, and the ultimate escape is written right there in the data, hovering high above a world that simply refuses to look up. The evidence of the ascending one is locked into the astronomical software for everyone to see. But as these celestial clocks strike midnight, what will you do with this study before the trumpets finally sound? The Gospels Compared channel says prayers for the Watchmen channels are very much appreciated. And give a hype and a like, please, because time is rapidly running out to understand the magnitude of this celestial warning. We end this study with a big thanks for the Gospels Compared members for helping this channel produce fruit, leaving you to wonder, when you look up at the next blood moon, will you see just a passing shadow in the dark? Or the ascending one calling you home? The skies are speaking, and the only question left is whether anyone is actually listening.